So I've asked Tika, Judge Christina Baumer, to please let us know what it means to be a responsible breeder and how you choose that breeder to get your cat. Take it away.
I kind of came at this presentation two different ways. One, as far as the breeder, how to be a responsible breeder, what should be expected of you, and then from someone who would like to purchase one of your cats, what they should be aware of, questions they should ask, and things that they should expect from the breeder. So when you're looking for your new little feline friend, it's really, really important to do your research and find a reputable breeder. There's many breeders out there that are A1 plus. I would recommend them in a heartbeat. And then there's others who sort of breed just because they make up new breeds, or there's a popular breed and it's a money maker for them. And if you ask any reputable breeder, we do it because we love the cats and we're breeding for the perfect cat of that breed. We're not breeding to make money. We're not putting two different kind of cats together to make a new breed because they look flashy. We're really concerned about the welfare of the cat. Some people just don't have the knowledge that they need to be a breeder, and it's really important to have that knowledge and experience so you can guide a pet buyer through the process and make sure that the pet that they're buying from you is of good quality, is healthy, sound, and you can feel good giving them one of your kittens. A reputable breeder should be registered with an association, such as TICA, CFA, ACFA. So for those of you looking to purchase a kitten, make sure you either ask them. If they tell you they are registered, go on the association's website and just Google them and see what you can find out. What is the difference between being a reputable breeder and what we call a backyard breeder? You may hear puppy mills. Well, there's kitten mills as well. And a registered breeder is approved by an organization. They have a registered cattery. They show, a lot of them show. They will easily give you references of people that have purchased a cat from them, and you can contact them, get their experience. They are very knowledgeable about the breed. They can guide you as far as which kitten may fit better into your home. And you, as someone who wants to purchase a kitten or an older pet, make sure that you tell the breeder what your family consists of. Is it an older home? So it's just adults. Do you have young children? Cats have to get used to the quickness of little kids. Some breeders don't have kids. You know, we may be in our mid 40s, 50s, 60s, or a little older, and the cats haven't been around children, so they don't know what those little fast scurrying things are. If you have dogs, ask the breeder, have they ever been socialized to dogs? They may not. So you know you need to introduce them slowly. The breeder that you are purchasing from, their cattery may be what is called a cattery of excellence, meaning that they invite a veterinarian into the home to do an inspection, see how the cats are raised, see how they are cared for, and the vet actually kind of gives them a stamp of approval, so you know that that breeder and the home that kitten's coming from is a very well-maintained home for the cats. Cats are healthy, they are looked after, they are seen by a vet. Ask the breeder, and as a purchaser, if there are any known disorders or diseases in that breed, and has that line been tested for any inherited transmitted diseases. You want to know that up front. You don't want to find that out a couple months or a couple weeks after and oops, something happens. And also, a reputable breeder and you as a purchaser should ask also to have a written contract. What that does is protects you as far as what you are expecting. You're getting a healthy kitten, the kitten has whatever shots, has been seen or vetted, is coming from a healthy home, and from the breeder, they are telling you what their expectations of your home is. For example, it's an indoor cat. It's not an in and out or an outdoor cat. Cat is not to club. There are some states now that are making declawing illegal, and it really is pretty traumatic on the cat. You will see that in many contracts. Also, the breeder may not give you the cat's papers until the cat is spayed or neutered. That helps prevent their lines from being regenerated through someone who's interested in a kitten and then decides, oh, that would be fun to breed. Or sometimes I hear that, you know what, it would be nice if my kids got to see the circle of life. So they'll have a litter. If you've never, you can't just breed a cat and hope for the best. It is an art to be a breeder. So many things can go wrong. You need to know what you're looking for. You need support from maybe other breeders, from a veterinarian, from an association that you can bounce ideas off of. So, as a breeder, think about that in the back of your mind when you're talking to a family. And as a purchaser, don't think you're going to go into it and start breeding cats. That's not being a responsible pet owner. Questions to ask the breeder. Do you have a health record for the cat? That's always a big help for your vet that you're going to take the kitten or cat to. Many breeders do give their own shots. I breed, I have given my own shots, but I also get them vet checked also, just to be on the safe side. The only thing that breeders cannot give is rabies. That typically is about 16 weeks, and that does need to be administered by a veterinarian. You want to know, how long have they been breeding cats? Are they a new breeder? Are they an older established breeder? What experience do they have with the breed? Have they been working with, for example, I breed Persians since 1985. So that's, I don't know how many years, math in my head, but I can say that I've had probably over 40 years of breeding, so I'm very familiar with the breed and I know what to expect. If they're a younger breeder, that's not an issue, but just make sure, think in the back of your mind if you're purchasing the cat that maybe you do have to explore some other resources just to get some more knowledge. If the breeder can't quite answer a question or refers you to another site to have that question answered. How often do they have litters? You don't want to have a female have a litter back to back to back. It really does take a lot from the female, the mother cat, to go through 63 days of developing kittens inside of her, delivering, nursing the kittens, being a mom. I typically would breed one of my cats once a year. Some people do twice a year. And you also have to watch how often the cat cycles. If they continually cycle, meaning they want to be bred and they're not bred, it can lead to some health issues as well. So just ask, how often do you have a litter? If they say every 3 months, oh boy, that's a red flag. So keep that in mind. Can they provide references from past people that have bought kittens from them? I have been asked as a breeder for my veterinarian's information and for references from people who actually purchased cats or kittens from them. And I'm happy to give that information. Ask how they socialize the kitten. Are they underfoot? Do they run the house? Are they pets first? In my house, they're pets first, show cats, or breeders second. All my cats are well socialized with dogs, cats, people, children. When I have people over to the house, I say, here's a kitten, play with it, touch it, feel it, because then they get used to being handled. If they're not used to a lot of socialization, you're just going to have to make sure you introduce them step by step into your home. The breeder should be able to help you with how to do that. If they're a reputable breeder, they absolutely can give you some information how to make sure that they transition very well into your home. Do they test for genetic diseases? Some cat breeds do have some genetic issues that could pop up if you don't watch the breeds and the lines that go into making that litter. So a reputable breeder will be upfront and say, you know what, there is this certain issue with this type of breed, but I screen for it, I get my cats tested, and I am pretty confident that it is not in my lines at all. So make sure you do keep that in the back of your mind. Do they give a health guarantee? Reputable breeders should typically, they may give 72 hours to maybe a full week, but from the time that you purchase the kitten or cat to the time that they see a vet. I think probably the most common is 72 hours. They want the cat or kitten to be seen by your vet. If there's any health issues, they will issue a refund and they will take the kitten back. Unless, if there is an issue, you fell in love with the kitten, they may give you the money back and allow you to keep the kitten. But make sure you get the kitten to a vet within at least 3 to 5 days. And kind of feel them out. Are they more interested in making a quick sale? Or are they really attuned to listening to what you want, what your house is like, and fitting you, introducing you to the right kitten or cat that may fit in very well? We have 3 different types of quality of kittens or cats. And they are show quality, breeder quality, and pet quality. Show quality is just what that means. It's a cat who meets the breed standard, who really is bred to be a show cat. They conform perfectly to the breed standard, which you can get online. Tika, you would go to www.tica.org. And you can look up every breed, you can read the breed standard, it tells you all about the breeds, where they came from, how they developed, gives information on their personality. That's a really good place to start. Then a breeder is a cat that could be shown. It doesn't have quite the perfect profile, or it may have ears maybe a little lower and they should be higher. But they can be used to breed. They carry great lines. They do have lovely conformation. There's just something that you can tweak by matching them with their mate. And then we have pet quality. Those are the kittens that you typically see that are being sold. They have all the breed characteristics, but they don't match the standard for a show cat. Think about and ask the breeder, what grooming's involved? A breeder should be able to give you information on how you groom them. Do they need bathed? If so, how do you bathe them? Should they be blown dry? What kind of exercise do they need? If, for example, if you are interested in a Siamese, and you ask the breeder, what activity level is this cat? They should tell you Siamese are very active, and they need a lot of room to run, and they like to be interactive, and they've got zoomies all day. On the other hand, maybe you're looking at a Persian. watch the action. They'll get a couple zoomies, but for the most part, they're kind of lazy. They like to see what's going on. They like to be in on it to a certain point. But after they do a couple little play things, they're zombie. So think about the personality of the cat, what your home's like, share it with the breeder. The breeder should talk to you about, okay, this is what I'm hearing about your home. This might be the better breed, or this may be the better kitten. Because we have kittens that are really outgoing. You walk in the door and they're like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then you walk into the door and there's a kitten that's kind of hiding in the corner a little bit. So if you have a very robust, active household, you probably want the one that's in your face. If you are more of a quiet household, laid back kind of people, maybe that little kitten that needs a little bit of adjustment time would be the best breed. Budget your cost. You need to think about things like shots, how much that will cost, testing, and spaying and neutering. The breeder should, in their contract, require the kitten to be spayed or neutered at least by 6 months. They will not give you the papers until they are spayed or neutered. And the reason is they don't want that line perpetuated if they are a pet quality kitten, or they're a breeder quality kitten, or they're not interested in showing at all. They're protecting their line. And it's really, if you're looking for a pet, a companion, you don't want them coming in and out of cycles. You don't want a male to get too long because they'll spray. And you want to deal with that because once they start, you kind of have a hard time breaking it. If you go to see the kittens, ask to see the mom, ask to see the dad. The dad may not be there. Sometimes the dad is living somewhere else. The mom and dad come together for a couple days and the breeder takes the mom home. But ask about their background. How big's the dad? Has he had any health issues? Ask to see the mom. How is she? Does she like to interact with you? Litter mates. If they allow you to see the litter mates, do they appear healthy? Clean eyes, clean ears, bouncing around, kind of very curious? Or do they have some really goopy eyes, kind of thin and bony? Those are the kind of kittens you want to stay away from. And that gives you an idea about not only their health, but the environment they've been raised in. Do they look thin? Can you see their spine? Can you feel their ribs? Their bridges. Do they have some dirty bridges? I mean, that could mean that they've had some diarrhea, some gastric upset. You don't want to see any of that on any of the kittens that you may be interested in because you can have some real GI issues. And I call it pepper in the coat. If you go through the coat, you see little flakes of pepper. What it means is the kitten probably has fleas. Is that a deal breaker? No. But what you need to do is make sure a flea treatment is given before you take that kitten into your home. If it's loaded with pepper, I would back off. I really would, and I would ask the breeder, what is this? So I've heard many different kinds of stories about what those flakes are, and they don't admit that it's probably flea. Is the cat interested in you? Is the cat or kitten interested in coming to you and interacting with you? Some are a little shyer, and that's okay. Again, your personality, the type of household, is it quiet, very active? And will it play with you? Ask the breeder for a toy. The breeder should really kind of give you something to see how the kitten interacts with you. It's not only you interacting with the kitten, but she or he, the breeder, needs to see how the kitten responds to you and how you respond to it. Because actions tell a whole nother story. They speak louder than words. So be cognizant of that as well. Some little side notes. I'm a Persian breeder, so I have this thing about doll-faced Persians. Sometimes people breed cats and put a name on it to make them sound special. Doll-faced Persian is an example. Doll-faced Persian doesn't exist. It's not a breed, but it is a pet quality Persian. So keep that in mind. Some breeders will use that to increase the fee. Responsible breeders are breeding for the perfect cat, understanding they will get pets along the way, obviously. They're not there to nickel and dime a new owner. They're not there to make up breeds, just take 2 cats and see what you come up with. That's where you can get a lot of information on acceptable breeds from Tika. And many cats, like I mentioned before, have not been exposed to small children. Mine in particular. My grandson came up for a week and he's 4 years old. I didn't see some of my cats for a week because they're like, whoa, what is that? A lot of energy. And some of them are like, oh, right, there's someone who's going to play with me. So just be cognizant of that. It may be shy because it's not used to that energy. As long as my grandson, as he calmed down and approached them slowly, oh, they were best buds. Make sure, ask the breeder what other animals have they been exposed to, and socialize with. I have dogs, so my kittens are socialized to people, other cats, and dogs. I have 2 big dogs, a Mastiff St. Bernard mix and a Norwegian Elkhound. The Elkhound is bouncy all over the place. So the kittens are very used to craziness at my place. And additional information about breeding, about breeds, resources, go to the Tika website. Again, it's www.tica.org. And in the banner, you can select breeds, you can research a breed, you can also get a listing of breeders by state and by breed. And then there's other resources on there for the breeder, to help the breeder, and also for potential kitten buyers. Any questions?